How do you actually go about creating your own dream clients? I'm sharing 5 things that have helped me build a client list of people who come back year after year, who refer new business, and who are absolutely lovely to work with. Imagine this. You're in a concept meeting. You've just presented a design you're really proud of, and you've done a lot of work to make sure it's reaching your goals and aligning with their values. Silence. And then you get the worst case scenario feedback. Your client wants to jumble your design with new and ineffective ideas that you know will not work. Why can't they just trust that you've done your research and presented them with the best option for their business? In a situation like this, it's easy to feel like your client is the enemy and your job as a designer is just to mitigate an absolute disaster. You might wonder, where do all these other designers get these great clients that are excited to just say yes to what they're presenting? Here is the secret. There is no difference between their clients and yours. The difference is how good we as the managers of the project are at setting boundaries, expectations, and leading our clients through a project. When everyone knows exactly what's expected from each meeting, what type of feedback that you need, and have insight into your process, they're going to be much better at providing all those things for you. That's what makes someone a dream client. So how do you actually go about creating your own dream clients? The very first tip is to add a buffer to both your timelines and your prices. If we make our clients feel stressed about adding any little tiny detail to a project or making any change, it's not going to give a great impression. I like to think about the experience of going to a nice restaurant. Yes, you have a clear price for the food that you're ordering, but maybe they're bringing you some really nice homemade bread that you don't have to pay for, and they might anticipate that you need a top up on your water, for example, and do that without you having to ask. Having that buffer in our timeline and budget means that we can be really generous without actually having a lot of scope creep and missing out on that financial benefit ourselves. It means everyone in the project is having a really great experience, and both you and the client are really excited, and that builds a really good long-term relationship. Number 2 is to start seeing yourself as the project manager and not as a hired hand. For any project to run smoothly, someone needs to have a good overview of the project and then keep everyone updated and also make sure everyone is doing their part of the project. If we want helpful feedback on a project, we need to be the ones who are telling our customer when to do that and how to do it in the best way so that it's easy for them and we're getting a good output. In practice, this means having a really clear proposal at the beginning of the project, where you're having a clear timeline showing each of the different stages and what to expect from each of those different stages. We also want to have a project management hub in a place like Trello, Notion, Milanote, or Basecamp, for example, where we can keep all of our different conversations and anything else that we need to keep the project organized. After each stage is done, we want to tell our clients what's coming up next and what tasks that they might need to complete and what they can expect from us. We also want to make sure that we ask exactly who is going to be involved in a project before we start and what each person's role is. This way we can tell them exactly at the point when they need to provide something what they have to do. And we make sure that we're getting the right people in the room for every meeting. Everyone has a really different experience with technology and design, so make sure that you're empathetic to that and make it as easy as possible for someone to, let's say, provide feedback or send you things on time. Let's say, for example, that you designed a packaging concept for a client, and although they're overall happy with it, they want to take it to their legal team to look at the ingredient lists, and they want to take it to their marketing team to see how they could put it on mockups and market the product, and see if they have any additional feedback before they move forward with you. Instead of sending them a PDF in as an email attachment, for example, and then ending up with a confusing list of feedback in different comments in an email response, you could share the Adobe Illustrator file through the sharing function and let them actually be able to pinpoint different feedback to different places on the design. Not only is this a much better customer experience for your clients, but it also helps you save a lot of time and money. Number 3 is to show your work. I don't mean that you need to share all the 500 font options that I know we looked at to get to that logo design. But it's really important to motivate the designs that you're presenting and share how you came to those conclusions. For example, you probably looked at other logos for similar industries and maybe looked at the competitors' websites and their social media before you started designing. Write a small description that summarizes what you found and how it actually influenced your design choices. This way, clients will understand that the design choices that you make are always based on solid strategy rather than something that you just felt was the right choice. Number 4 is to set clear boundaries with your clients. Would you think it felt very professional if you hired someone and they emailed you at 2 in the morning? I guess some people might think it's showing that you work hard, but for me, it just shows a lack of boundaries. The truth is, I think a lot of us work at quite odd times sometimes. I know I do because I have a toddler, and sometimes evenings or weekends are the best time to work. But I always schedule my emails so that my clients know that they are not expecting to get in touch with me at those odd hours. This same thing goes for taking holidays. You can inform your clients well in advance so that if they need help with something, you can resolve it first, and then you can just set up an automated email response. Maybe it feels scary to do this, but think about it from the other side. Would you think that someone was being unprofessional if they well in advance gave you notice of their holiday and then just took a holiday? Probably not, right? Clients are people too, and at least we've never ever had a negative reaction. If you have a client who is not treating you well, stopping to work with that client is probably the best move. The stress that it's causing you, and also the time that it's taking away from, let's say, marketing and working on work for other customers or learning a new skill to grow your business, is just not worth it. So it's also okay to fire your clients if they are not respecting your boundaries. And number 5 is to be personal. No need to disclose your whole medical history, but I think building a rapport with your clients where you're getting to know them a little bit as people is a really good way to build trust and also just make your creative collaboration a lot nicer. Before you dive into the actual work in a meeting, have a chat about their upcoming holiday or their pet or the background in their video, for example. Doesn't have to be anything fancy, just starting to build a relationship like you would with anyone else. Over the years, I have learned about my clients' kids, pets, and dreams and hopes with their business, and it has made it a lot more fun to work with people as well. Do you have a tip that I missed? In that case, I would love to hear it in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, I think you're also really gonna enjoy the video I did about how to get clients for your business. I'm gonna put it here on the screen for you. Thank you so much for watching. Good luck with your projects and see you next time.